Welcome back to the channel, everybody. My name is Travis and this is Baking and Backpacking. This is episode 2 of our through hike of the Centennial Trail in South Dakota. This episode covers days 3 and 4. If you missed episode 1, I'm going to go ahead and link it down in the description. You guys should definitely check it out. As always, guys, thanks so much for joining along and I hope you enjoy the video. Well, good morning, everybody. It's about 7:30 and I got up a little bit late because, like I said, we got into camp super late last night and yesterday ended up being harder than it was supposed to be, so I wanted to try to get some sleep. Probably about 9 hours of hiking today. We're getting ready to go up to the Cathedral Spires up here. Huge climb, first thing to start in the morning, so that should be fun. And then there's Harney Fire Tower up there, and then get back onto the CT, go straight to Rushmore. Here come the spires, and we'll get you guys some better shots, but holy cow, kind of looks like Mordor out here. See those, all them jagged points? Kind of looks like some like Gothic architecture or something. Now, I'm not positive, but I think that up there is the Harney Fire Tower, which looks really far from where we're currently at. I know the sun's back there, so hopefully we're not blowing out the shot. Maybe I should angle this way, but I will say, even though the Black Elk Wilderness sucked, I will say Cathedral Spires is worth the visit for sure. Just super cool rock formations, man. Very unique. And I'm glad we did it. But we got a mission, man. You said we woke up late. I still kind of want to get the Harney Fire Tower. And then the good news is, though, these guys were saying, we ran into some climbers, and they were saying that the Grizzly Bear Trail, which is what we're taking to Rushmore from Harney, they said it's a really cool trail. So I hope that's the case. But yeah, guys, say goodbye to the Cathedral Spires. Awesome spot. Well, guys, we stopped for a quick break. I'm developing some hot spots. Sarah's already had them since day one, and she's got a couple blisters. But you know, guys, I love these. I love ultras because they fit my feet good. But man, they disintegrate. I found out, I felt like something was rubbing, and I took off my shoes like multiple times, and there wasn't anything in them. Wasn't anything on my socks. Wasn't anything inside my socks. What the heck? Well, we just stopped, and I realized both places where I have hot spots, the inside of my shoe is like starting to disintegrate. And that's what's rubbing. Now, I've got some Leuco tape on there, and it usually does a pretty good job. They're just hot spots so far. They're not blisters. I think it's going to be okay. Changed my socks, aired out my feet, stuff like that. But, you know, it's just something to be concerned about. You almost have to replace these ultras like every 150 miles at this point. It's insane. But anyways, I think it's about 9:40 or something like that. We want to head to Harney Fire Tower, so probably not going to do like a ton of recording until we get there, because I mean, we got a lot of stuff on the agenda today, guys. We got to get up there. We have to come back down. We have to resupply water at Grizzly Bear Creek, get through Black Elk Wilderness into Mount Rushmore, back out of Rushmore, and back through the northern part of Black Elk. So quite a bit of stuff on the day. So we really got to get moving. We're on the climb, final climb up to Harney Fire Tower up here, and you got a view of Black Hills down here that you're not gonna get anywhere on the Centennial Trail. So, and then the view from once we get to the tower should be really cool.
Where are you guys from?
Okay. Fly out, drive out.
We drove. How about you?
We drove too.
Long.
We're on our way. We're actually on our way from
Well, yeah, this is where it plays out.
Pacific Northwest, Washington, Mountain here, went down to Point Flattery, Cape Flattery. Go any further? You drive any?
Because I thought.
Derek, are you ready to go downhill, Derek?
Shall we go down? Just sit on the rocks down? Just sit.
Well guys, when it was 8 p.m. and we were slogging through Black Elk Wilderness last night, not being able to find a spot to set up camp, I wasn't real thrilled about our decision to detour to the Cathedral Spires and then over to Harney Fire Tower, or excuse me, Harney Fire Tower. But now that I've been up here, definitely one of the top views of my life, for sure. So, dude, this place is really cool. Even if you come out here, just like day hike it, but you know, we're about midday and we still got to get to Rushmore, so I think it's about time for us to scoot and get out here and go check out Rushmore.
You only have another mile.
Sorry. A little vertigo there.
That's not a funny joke.
You okay?
It's a little high for me. I thought Devil's Lake was high. Here we are.
You're almost up there.
Well, I'll give you guys a little trail update. So we spent basically the first 3.5 hours of the day climbing. You know, serious elevation gain to start the day. And then ever since we left Harney, as you can probably see from the view up there, everything's been downhill. And I mean, it's been steep downhill, rocky downhill, slippery downhill, and you know, it's putting a hurting on our feet, knees, stuff like that. I mean, it's just tiring, and it's slow. So also, for those of you interested in doing a trip out here, we're, you know, a couple miles deep into Grizzly Bear Trail out here. And you see what's behind me. I mean, I still haven't seen a single place to set up camp since we entered Black Elk Wilderness yesterday. So just be prepared. That was something I wasn't planning on for this trip. I, you know, would have never imagined that in about a 7-hour stretch there'd be no place suitable for camp. And thank God we found that little spot there last night, man, or we'd have been in trouble. But yeah, you see, like, kind of down behind me. I mean, it's it's thick, man. So if you do decide to do the Centennial Trail and you want to do, you know, the side quest that we had to the Spires and then to Harney, you're probably not camping in Black Elk, man. We're gonna get up here to the creek, refill some water, take a break, and then make the push into Rushmore. We found the oasis, and because I was getting to the point where I'm like, man, all the stuff we saw was cool, but I don't know if it was worth it because of just the wear and tear and the mileage and just the beating, dude, that you take. And then while everything you see is cool, everything else is like junk miles. So over there, I don't think you guys can see it. There's a full campsite over there, okay? You can fit a couple people at. And then right down there off camera is Grizzly Bear Creek, which it's flowing, you know, it's tough. You almost need a scooper. We were able to get the Canuck bags and lay them flat in there and get about half of it full and then filter that way, so it worked. So we filled up water there. But yeah, guys, you're gonna have reliable water. I heard Grizzly Creek is reliable year round. And you have a campsite right there, and this is how you do this thing, is you stay there, you're right next to water, and then honestly what you do is you don't come in on Norbeck Trail from the south like we did. You come in from the north here on Grizzly, take that up to the Spires and up to Harney Fire Tower lookout if you want to do that, and then you come back on Grizzly Trail again. Don't mess with Norbeck, the one that we did. Grizzly's tough. It's going to be a hell of a climb. It's going to be a hell of a drop on the way back, but it's not as overgrown. You do have some reliable water over here, and then you have a staging point to attack this thing. I would probably step off from here first thing in the morning, go hit both of those, come back, and I mean, I might even camp back here again tonight, depending on your abilities, right? Or you could push to like Rushmore like we are, but this is the way you want to come in, not the way that we did. Those of you who are keeping score, we were heading east on Grizzly Bear Creek Trail for pretty much the last couple hours. We are now north on Horse Thief Lake Trail, and in less than a mile, we'll be linking back up for the Centennial Trail for probably the first time since about this time yesterday that we'll be back on the Centennial Trail. So Rushmore is not too far away. All right, everybody, so we're doing it again. It's about 3:45, and here's the predicament we find ourselves in. So by our estimation, we're about 2 miles, maybe a little bit more, from Rushmore one way. So the thought is, hopefully in that 2 miles heading there, we'll see a spot that's suitable for camp. We'll walk past it, go to Rushmore, check it out, fill up on water and stuff, and head back and stay at that campsite. But here's the thing though. So if we go to Rushmore and on the way there are no campsites, that means we're going to be putting in at least 4 or 5 back here. And then Horse Thief Lake Campground is about another mile that way. So I guess as an absolute last resort, we could bail up towards like the campground and go in there, and hopefully, you know, they'll have us, let us stay there, whatever. Don't imagine they turn us away if we came in at dark, but yeah, dude, Black Elk really just screwed everything up. Like the just the lack of campsites. There's just nowhere to camp, man. That's been the big thing. Otherwise, I wouldn't be sweating it at all. But we passed quite a few up that way, but that would take us back, you know, in the wrong direction again, and it would definitely put us in the camp, I would say, after dark, and we'd have to climb another hill. So, but I guess we'll see. So cross your fingers that we find a camp between here and Rushmore, and that'll fix all the problems. Finally, got some good news and morale booster to share. So we found probably about 6 campsites so far, and so we're not gonna have to worry on the way back from Rushmore. We will have a place to stay, and you know, we're not gonna have to worry about water because we're gonna fill up at Rushmore. So basically what the game is now, because we're doing a lot of downhill, which means when we leave Rushmore and we come back to camp, we're gonna have to do, you know, this part uphill. So we're kind of just trying to find the campsite closest to Rushmore, probably to stay at tonight. That way we can worry about like the elevation in the morning, kind of give ourselves like, you know, some recovery time. Little update, guys. It's 7 o'clock p.m. We're kind of setting a trend for this trip, rolling into camp at dark, but leaving Mount Rushmore right now. If you haven't been, you should totally check it out. Grab some chicken tenders. You know, the real MVP though was Rushmore itself, flushing toilets, being able to wash my face, and being able to fill up cold, clean water. So those are all huge wins in my book. We do probably have about a half-hour walk back to a campsite that we luckily spotted, you know, on the way here. It's not much, but it'll get the job done. And yeah, we'll be rolling in right at dark again. Sarah, say goodnight.
Good night.
Yeah, we got set up, guys. Not a great, not the best spot in the world, but Sarah's down there, and I just barely fit in over here between these two trees. But yeah, it's about time for bed. But we got fit in here, and this has kind of been the, oh god, this has kind of been the name of the game. Yeah, this has kind of been the name of the game here, is just find a spot to camp and get set up and get some sleep. So if I go to bed now, I can probably get about 8.5 hours. So that's what we're gonna do, guys. We'll see you in the morning. Good morning, everybody. Sarah's doing some foot care because she's got some really bad blisters. I've got some hot spots that are taped up, but Black Elk was very rocky, very steep, very slidey, and foot moves around the shoe a lot, and yeah, we both kind of paid the price for that. The good news is the Centennial Trail, by contrast, is much more cruisy as far as, you know, the hiking. But anyways, we're going to be getting back on trail here shortly. I want to eat my peach cobbler that Sarah got me as a
Happy birthday to you.
Okay.
It's like birthday cake. There's cake in there.
There's cake in here, I guess. Am I supposed to make a wish?
Yeah, but I have to take a picture.
Oh, okay. Stand by. I wish.
You weren't supposed to say it out loud.
I know. I'm conjuring it. But yeah, we're gonna eat this food, get her taped up, and then we're hoping to step off by about 7 here, and just get as many miles done as we can today as possible. We got to catch up a little bit today, so we'll see how that pans out. Morale is raising because we should have less than a mile left of the Black Elk Wilderness. Can't say that I'm gonna miss it. I mean, we've been in it, man, since what, probably 4 o'clock on day 2. All day, day 3, except for when we went to Rushmore, and starting off, you know, morning of day 4, we've been Black Elk the whole time. So we did take the trail up to Horse Thief Lake for 2 reasons. One, we want to load up on water because we got, I mean, pretty much most of the day is a dry stretch until Sheridan Lake at the end of the day. And then we're going to push past that, do a couple more miles. At least that's the plan. And I can't hike all day on, you know, 2 liters of water. So we're gonna fill up at Horse Thief, but then the second thing that's gonna do is it's actually gonna cut maybe a mile off of today's mileage and let us get caught up a little bit. I don't really feel bad about that because we're basically gonna miss like 2 miles of the Centennial Trail, and I already gave Black Elk more extra miles than it deserves, so I don't feel bad about cutting 2 miles off the CT. in Black Elk, considering we did those side quests. But yeah, anyways, we're gonna be rolling up here. We'll do some foot care, take our first stop and break for the day, and then we're back on the CT, boys and girls. So hopefully we get back to those beautiful views that we saw the first 2 days. Did a camp there?
There's a little heart on the tree.
Caught anything? Oh, you're not fishing.
Literally, as soon as you leave Black Elk, we did a little bit of road walking out of Horse Thief, and you know, now we're back in the national forest, not the wilderness, and instantly the forest is more wide open. You know, there's going to be some more views, trail's not overgrown, stuff like that. So guys, we don't mind wilderness travel. I mean, we go to a lot of wilderness areas, but yeah, Black Elk was just drained the morale, man. But I'm real happy to be back on the old 89 Centennial Trail. So we're gonna put some miles in, man. We're on our way to Sheridan Lake. Trail update, feeder still moving. We're in the vicinity of Semelius Peak. It's kind of funny being on trail because you plan this stuff, and then as you're walking, you come to the trailheads and the points of interest and stuff that you saw like in your planning, and you can kind of visualize like how far along you are. So a little bit more climbing to do up here, but we're well on our way to Sheridan Lake. We are finishing up what I think is the last climb before Sheridan Lake, and then sharpishly we're gonna find a spot to take lunch, maybe even right up here. We'll see, but it is time for a break. Haven't been recording a ton, guys. Been kind of fighting for the miles here, but like I said, ever since earlier today when we got out of Black Elk, the trail's kind of what you see back here behind me for most of it. Not saying all of it, but the Centennial Trail itself doesn't have too many what I call junk miles, where you're just head down going through the green tunnel. Like generally you've got some open forest like this, you know, stuff to look at, got some views and stuff like that. And we've been in the higher regions today of the Centennial Trail, so there's been, you know, sporadic views and stuff like that. Nothing like, you know, what we saw at like Harney Fire Tower or anything like that, but there's almost, I wouldn't say constant, but like every 20 minutes or so you'll be able to see some type of view of the surrounding hills like through the forest. So yeah, I mean, it's just, the whole Centennial Trail is just like a walkable trail, do you know what I mean? It's about 4 o'clock and we're rolling into Sheridan Lake right now. So I think we're gonna at least, you know, we're gonna fill up our water, see where the next point is. We're gonna get water tomorrow. It's gonna determine how much I fill up tonight, and then probably push across to the other side of the lake to Dakota Point and look for a campsite kind of up in there. Not sure how far we're gonna push, but we're gonna end up someplace up in there. We've been walking next to this for probably about 1.5 miles, so hard to beat that view. I'm tired and ready to be done, but let me give you a 360 here. I think we're gonna try to camp up there on that point. All right, everybody, so it is night number 4 coming to a close, and I want to give you guys an extended cut of the campsite tour because I know we haven't really been able to do it too much in these videos so far because we've been really busy hiking. But this is Sheridan Lake, okay? We're up on a little place called Dakota Point, so let's just show you guys around a little bit. So we came from out of the Black Hills up there all the way down there. That's where we entered Sheridan Lake, and if you look over here, that's where the developed campsites are. Guys, if you ever vacation out here, man, come to Sheridan Lake, bring your kayak, go camp in the campgrounds, even if you're not a backpacker or something, but you know, and then day hike out here to Dakota Point. It's only 1.5 miles from that trailhead there, but you guys can kind of see, you know, there's a rocky point right there. We're also sitting on one right here too. And then there's a kid earlier that walked past our campsite, came over here and did a little cliff jump into the water over there, and then climbed his way, swam his way, climbed back up here, and then headed out. We talked to him a little bit. He's a local. Oh, there's a fish jumping down there. But yeah, I guess all the kids come out here and cliff jump and stuff, and he seemed pretty respectful, but you can kind of tell, guys, I haven't really seen any trash on this trail at all, but there's broken glass, cans, beach towels, clothing, and stuff up here by Dakota Point, which is unfortunate. And then if any of you are backpacking, you can't really see it, but there's a bridge right there. Yeah, I guess you can see it a little bit. And that's the runoff from the lake, so you can go down a trail down there to fill up your water. Because obviously you're really high above the lake right now. It's actually, even though you have all this water here, it's hard to get it. So I had to take a little side quest to go down there and fill up our water. But yeah, Sarah and I have been sitting here overlooking Sheridan Lake. Just finished our dinner. And then a little bit better view of the X-Mid 2 Plus Pro. Very rocky up here because obviously, like I said, it's rock point, so you can see Sarah's got her tent is more held up with rocks than it is like the actual tent stakes, but it works. And then over here is where I'm gonna be sleeping. It's my hammock setup. I've got the hammock gear, Dynamic tarp with doors over there, and my War Bonnet Blackbird in there. Sarah, did you want to come over? But yeah, guys, let me. I'm gonna cut away from this for a second, and I'm gonna walk out here and give you a shot. Yeah, man. Sheridan Lake. See the moon in the water. What do you think, Sarah? One of the better campsites we've had? Yeah. Yeah, we stopped about 3, maybe 4 miles short today, guys. So we're about 3 or 4 miles behind for the trip. But, you know, we're probably only going to come out here once, at least backpacking the Centennial Trail anyway. I mean, maybe we come out and visit some national parks and swing by one of these places or something. But, yeah, I couldn't pass up this campsite, man. I mean, look at it. No closer, you can't swim. Sun is going down. You know what that means. It is hiker midnight, and that couldn't ring more true than on a day like today. Today was hard, very hard. We're gonna get up even earlier tomorrow, do even more mileage tomorrow, and go to the Whispering Pines campground, which is where our day 5 resupply is at. Well, I guess you guys get one more look before bed, because we thought that it was going to be a dull sunset, but this one was a late bloomer. Look at that. All right, everybody, that is going to wrap it up for episode number 2 of our through hike of the Centennial Trail. Guys, do me a favor, if you like the video, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up, drop a comment down below, let me know what you thought of it, and most importantly, subscribe to the channel. If you guys missed episode 1, I'm going to go ahead and link it down in the description box so you can check that out. And I have 2 things before you guys leave. So I've got a couple resources down in the description to help you guys plan your own through hike of the Centennial Trail. The first resource is going to be my Pack Wizard. Basically, that's going to be a list of all of the gear that I brought with me on this trip. The second resource is going to be a link to download my GPX file. Basically, you guys can see all of our hiking data. I marked all of the water sources on there, the campsite, stuff like that. So you guys can go ahead and upload that into your GPS app of choice. But as always, guys, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next episode.